Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacko. In this video, I'm going to go through these revision cards from this company, CGP. Yeah, and they are based on the foundation level exam and the high level on the grade 9 to 1 system, so they're well up to date. And this is from, I made a community post of a picture of these two cards a few weeks ago. And I'm just following up from that because I said I'll make a video in the new year, and this is what I'm doing. So I want to go through now. Just before I do that, just remind you, I'm making no money from this company. So you'll find no links in the comments or in my description. So I'm just purely putting this out there just for you guys to have a look and just to let you know if you are interested in buying them. I've also bought these for my students at the school I'm working at. So it's what I'm using this year. So I'm going to see how that goes. I'll get more feedback from them as the year goes on. But up to now, my students are responding well and they're using them. So let's go foundation first. So when you get the box here, open it up, and there are loads of these cards as well, all topics. So pull that to the side. Right, here you are. So you'll find at the top, you have this little information card here. Not much on there apart from saying how to use these cards. This is what CGP are saying, how they think is best to use them. So let's have a look at some of these cards and see what you'll find. So put that up here. So firstly, there are 7 sections in each one. So as you can see, section 1 is number. I'm not going to go through every single little card because this video will be hours long, okay? I'm just going to give you a brief overview. Section 1 is number. And you can see here they have quick questions. Yeah, so it's just quick fire, quick recall questions. And then it has questions that go in a bit more depth under that extra little bit of challenge. How you would use this, now I've taught how to use this. You'll just put this here. So I'll move that a bit further up, put this here, have a go. So have your paper here, have a little go writing the questions. And when you think you've done it, you'll then flip it over and then check your answers and see if they're right. And down here, it gives you a little tip as well on how they think you could do that and little tips to help you get through it. Right, so let's go through the sections. Section 1 is number. As well, it doesn't matter where you're learning maths in the world, because even though, yeah, this is based on the UK curriculum, it's still the same wherever all over the world. Like, maths is maths at the end of the day. It doesn't change whatever country or continent you are in. This is just based on the UK system, and you might have slightly different topics in other countries at slightly different levels, but that's it. But the maths is still the same, yeah? Sorry about that. Right, algebra is your next section. Section 2. So all your algebra skills there. Remember, this is foundation, and the highest grade you can get is a grade 5 on the foundation, whereas on the higher you can get up to a grade 9. And for college in the UK, to consider a pass for your maths exam, you need to be getting at least a grade 4, and that means you don't have to resit maths again when you're in college. Section 3 is graphs. Section 4 is ratio, proportion, and rates of change. You will see a lot of crossover topics as well in higher, but it just goes in a bit more detail. Section 5 is shape and area. And then section 6 is your angles and geometry. And then section 7 is probability and statistics. So there's loads there. I would recommend, what I tell my students is, what you don't want to be doing is cramming. So you don't want to be doing this whole section the night before an exam, because look, there's so many cards here, and actually science has proven that trying to remember all this is highly unlikely you remember it all, and it's proven it's not effective. So what I always say, especially now in the UK and probably similar other countries in the world, maths exams for this academic year will probably around the summertime. In the UK, it's in May and in June, 3 exams. So I'll be trying to get in one of these in a day. One of these a day. Have a go at these questions. If you can't answer them, it's fine. Just do what you can. Flip it over and have the answers. Okay. Whereas if you really want to push it, maybe do 2 a day or even 3, but don't be trying to do all these the night before. It will just not work, and it'll get you really stressed and overwhelmed because you'll think, oh, Jesus, so much I need to learn. Right. So let's look at the higher. That is the foundation. Oh, if you are liking this video so far, don't forget, hit the like button and hit subscribe so that way you are up to date with everything I'm putting out there. Okay, thank you very much for that. Let's go on to this box. Let's move this over here. Right, So this is the higher now, as I said before. With a higher paper, you can get up to a grade 9 on this. So the topics are similar. You will see some crossover. So some cards may be repeated between higher and foundation. However, need that a bit more there. However, on the higher, it will go into more detail. So with the higher, you can see it still has the same card. Yeah, just going over how you would use the card, same thing. Right, so the sections. So similar to the one, number, section 1. But it would go into a bit more detail. Some of these questions might be repeated on the higher and the foundation. Yeah, but they might just go that little bit more depth. So section 1 is number. Section 2 is algebra. But I know on the higher it does go in a lot more detail. It's a lot more challenging, not just your basic algebra, okay? And then graphs, so probably go a lot more into your quadratic, cubic, reciprocal graphs. Like, yeah, you can see here, harder graphs. You wouldn't have this on the foundation. Yeah, because you don't need to know these on the foundation paper, more just on the higher, and especially equations like with circles and using surds and trigonometric graphs. This is more just on the higher paper. So section 3, and ratio, proportion, and rates of change. I'll put this one over here to make sure it's space. And yet again, there are 7 sections in this one as well. And then section 5 is geometry and measures, so all your angles. And this may even go into, so more in 3D shapes, you can see here, elevations, cylinders, volume, loci, locus points, bearings. So there's a lot more in-depth topics. But yeah, it's still your basic angle rules, okay? So I think this card is literally the same as in the foundation one. Right, that is section 5. Right, now section 6, which is Pythagoras and trigonometry. So I know in the higher paper it goes into more like 3D trigonometry, your sine, 3D trigonometry, 3D Pythagoras, your sine, your cosine rule, vectors, vector geometry. This isn't in the foundation, you need to know this on the higher. That's section 6. And then section 7 is probability and statistics. So you've got your Venn diagrams. Some of them are on foundation, bit of crossover there. We might go more detail in the higher. And cumulative frequency, that's on higher as well. It's good just to have it, even you don't have to answer every single question when you revise it, just do a couple, or maybe just do the quick questions one day, and then the day after, do the now try these sections. And it doesn't matter if you do the same cue card more than once. So you can do this one, and let's say you did this one tomorrow or today, and then look at it again in 2-3 weeks from now. Can you remember how to do it? Can you remember some of it but not all of it? Definitely worth it. And that is pretty much it. So that is 7 sections there, foundation and higher. So as I mentioned before, I'm not making any money from this. There are no affiliate links to this. However, if you are interested in these, do let me know, and I'll post a link in the comments for you. But I'm making no money from this. It's just letting you guys know what is out there. You can make your own. I have done that with students in the past. In lessons, we made our own. But to be honest, you can get something like these. They don't cost too much, maybe between £5 and £10, or your school might buy them. So I know if they buy in bulk, you can get them cheaper. So as I said before, if you'd like this video and you want to keep up to date with my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. This is Maths Jacko. Thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you next time.